everyone, and welcome back to Sunkiss with Arryika. So today we're going to discuss about emotions, and I'm going to talk a little about what they are, and how we can keep a check on them, because these are difficult times that we are going through, and it's important that during this time, when there's a lot of uncertainty in the atmosphere, in the environment, how we can do our bit to maintain and keep our emotions in check, so that at least here we don't go crazy, right? So without wasting much time, let's get started. Anger, fear, disgust, happiness, these are some of the oldest emotions that we know of, based on the research done by a lot of psychologists. And these emotions, most of the people don't know, these emotions are also a product of neurobiology. So when you hug a person, you feel so warm and you feel so secure, because it releases the hormone called oxytocin, which helps you which helps you to feel warm. Now, coming to mood, a lot of people get confused between emotions and mood. So what are moods? So mood is something that is lesser in intensity, that is less specific, and that is also lesser specific to the situations, right? So let's say you are in love, you are emoting a lot of love, and being romantic while you're in love is a mood. So emotion here is, let's say, love, but because you're being romantic, that will be considered a mood. So this is basically a difference between an emotion and mood. I hope that clarifies and settles the confusion a little bit around that. But having said that, even mood is majorly affected by your nutrition and the amount of sleep that you get. Now, when does the problem arise? It arises when your emotions start controlling you, instead of you trying to control your emotions and keeping them in check. When you're going to office and you have had a fight with the autowala or the cab driver, and you take a lot of decisions impulsively based on the recency effect, and that decision may or may not backfire at you, or may have an aversive effect on the decision that you've made. So it makes you incapable of doing things in a better way, I would say. So what can we really do to keep these emotions in check? And before we actually get into this, let me kind of give a disclaimer here that I am not legally a practitioner yet, but yes, I am a student of psychology. I've done my bachelor's in it, and I'm currently pursuing my master's while working. So I thought that, maybe as a fellow human, I can still give my 2 cents on, how we can make lives of ourselves and people who we care about around us better. And so yeah, in case you have any ideas regarding how to keep your emotions check after watching this video, then of course, please feel free to comment them in the comment section and share it with people who you really care for, because it might help them get through their lives on a daily basis. Step is to learn to address your emotions. If you're feeling angry, sad, or confused or frustrated, learn to address the emotions. Make yourself aware that, okay, I am feeling frustrated right now. Try to establish that contact with consciousness. And if you're feeling really helpless and hapless, then just bang on, just try to feel what you're feeling and where you're feeling it and what body part you're feeling it. If you're feeling angry, then try to establish a contact with your consciousness, saying, okay, I am feeling angry. Second step, once you have assessed and reassessed your emotion, try to figure out why you're feeling angry, or why you're feeling the way you're feeling, and what triggered you to feel this way or have this particular emotion, right? So these are 2 of the most important steps that you can do, or that you can practice to keep your emotions in check. Third would be to think, that okay, now that I'm feeling frustrated, now that I feel like crying, and I feel like crying because of this particular situation. Now what can I do? So just take a step back. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Just take a step back and think, what would you say to a friend of yours who's going through same emotion? You would tell them that it's all going to be all right, right? You will try to understand and assess the situation that made you feel like this, and try to figure out solutions, to help you overcome those emotions or those feelings at the moment. And it's important that you don't beat yourself up for feeling like crying all the time, or for feeling negative, or for feeling angry. So don't beat yourself up on that. Just take a step back, breathe, and think about what you would do for a friend who's going through same emotions. So that brings us to step 4. Once you have all these steps in place, try to find an activity that calms you down. Try to make your own mechanism that will help you to cope up with these emotions. Some people prefer going on walks, some prefer jogging or exercising, and exercising is also known to create new neurons in your brain, so that's again a really positive side of it. Some people like to read, some people like to write what you're feeling, and some people simply make tea and sip it with friends. So it is completely up to you what coping mechanism you want to create for yourself for any of the times that your feeling is very difficult to go through. Like a lot of people during this pandemic are just trying to sail through, and it's completely okay. It's completely okay to cook, it's completely okay to write, paint, draw, and do things that you were not getting a chance to do earlier. Develop your own coping mechanism that can help you sail through, is what I would recommend. Important thing to remember is, once you are a little calmer, just try to think where this emotion will take you in the longer run. And because once you said something, when you're angry or when you're frustrated, it can, you cannot really rub those words back, and it kind of stays with the other person for a really long time. So just think, and when you're calmer, and how you want to proceed now. Is there any solution that you can take ahead? So all of those things you will have to figure out once you're a little calm. A lot of people also tend to make journals about their emotions, and in which they on a daily basis keep a track of what they were feeling and when they were feeling it, what time of the day, and what situation triggered it, or what person triggered it. That's also an important factor. So if you are into writing, and if you want to keep a track of your emotions, make a journal, make it in a diary, or make it in an Excel sheet. That's completely up to your convenience, but do it because it really helps. If you don't want to do any of that, then take a shoe box or a cardboard box, and every day just fill in a piece of paper what you're feeling, and just fill it up, write it up, and put it in that shoe box or the cardboard box that you're using. At the end of the month, you open that's all the emotions that you have felt during these 28 to 30 days. And it's amazing what it can do for your mental health, because now you can easily track what you've been feeling, and you can easily assess yourself. And if you see a pattern over there, and you feel that maybe an external intervention is required, please do not hesitate to go for therapy, or reach out to your psychologist, or even online. There are a lot of organizations like 7 Cups of Tea, that actually go ahead and help you with it. So don't be shy to ask for help. Ask for help to your parents, to your siblings, or to your relatives, or friends, or therapists. It's completely up to you. So these are some of the basic ideas that I had. In case you have any other idea on how to keep your emotions in check, let me know in the comment section, and share it with people who can benefit from this. You should actually keep a track of it, and keep your emotions is in check, because one day, if not letting these out, it's all gonna bottle up and just blast off. And trust me, that is not going to be cathartic. That is going to act like a bomb for your relationships, for your own mental health. So it's important that while you're keeping your emotions in check, you do not forget to communicate. Communication is the key, and sometimes we really take it for granted. So even if you're feeling angry or frustrated or helpless, or you feel like crying, even if you're happy, communicate. Right, we humans, we are social beings, like we've been taught all our life, and it's important that we communicate, because that is the only way to survive by. And if you have anything to say or to share, or any incidents that you want to talk about, let me know in the comment section, and we are here to listen.